So this is a brief mindfulness exercise to practice observing your thoughts, allowing them to come and go. So just close your eyes. Begin by taking a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. So before we begin this practice, just notice if subconsciously there's any desire or intention to want to try and feel a certain way during this exercise. Seeing if you can let go of this and simply be open to whatever shows up, whatever happens. So to begin with, I want you to imagine a big brick building with a large chimney attached to it. It might be an old farmhouse or an industrial building. It doesn't really matter. Whatever pops up for you in your mind. And I want you to imagine smoke just coming out of this chimney at the top, drifting into the sky. I want you to imagine your thoughts as this smoke drifting from the chimney. So each time you notice a thought, just allowing it to drift out into the sky, dissipating, disappearing in its own time. So just in the same way that trying to grab at, to snatch at smoke would be futile, it's not something that we can grasp or really have much control over. So if you can bring this quality of just simply allowing your thoughts to come and go, just drifting into that open space of your mind. And every now and then you'll be lost in thought, which is completely normal. As soon as you notice that you were lost in that thought, simply coming back and repeating the same process. Observing the chimney and the smoke coming out with your thoughts drifting out. And it doesn't matter if it's the same thoughts that keep coming back. It might be thoughts about the exercise in itself. It might be thoughts about what you're doing later for dinner, or what you were doing this morning. Treat all thoughts equally in the same. Just simply allowing them to drift out of that chimney. And it may be images or memories that pop into your mind. Treat these exactly the same. And as you do this, just notice what happens to the thought. When you truly open up and simply allow it to do its own thing, where does it go? It seemingly vanishes, disintegrates, dissipates. So thoughts may feel very real and hard and solid in the moment, especially times where we're struggling. But just notice here what you've been doing with these thoughts. They're simply strings of letters, words in your mind, or perhaps fleeting images. So let's experiment now with consciously bringing certain thoughts to mind and treating them in exactly the same way. I want you to think now back to a time in the past few days where perhaps you've been struggling. And think the kind of thoughts that were going through your mind at that time. Maybe they were anxious thoughts, worries about something. Maybe it was self-critical or attacking thoughts. doubting yourself in some way. And as you bring this to mind, bringing back the image of the chimney and the smoke, seeing if you can allow these thoughts to simply pass away, drift into the open space of your mind like that smoke from the chimney, just as you did with other thoughts. And notice here if there's any resistance in your mind. If you find yourself resisting the thought, not wanting it in any way, trying to control the speed or flow of that smoke, seeing if you can let go of that. It may be that the thought is unpleasant. It's not necessarily something that you want to think about consciously. But see what happens if you truly let go. Notice what happens to the thought when you do this. So now let's try the same thing with a positive memory or experience. Think to something that happened in the past few days that was pleasant, perhaps made you happy, joyful. Maybe you're feeling good about yourself and had some positive self-talk. Call to mind those thoughts, images, memories, and then treat them in the same way. Just notice them as smoke coming out of the chimney, allowing them to drift off in their own time. And this time notice if there's a sense of wanting, a desire to grab onto or hold on to these pleasant thoughts. See if you can let go of that. Treat them with a sense of non-judgment. And just allow them to drift off in their own time. So if we're able to truly let go of an attachment to certain types of thinking, and to practice allowing thoughts to come and go as they please, we can find ourselves free from suffering, freeing ourselves up to do the things that are important to us. So see if you can go off today and practice this skill as you go about your day. You need not close your eyes to do this. Just simply notice a thought and imagine it as smoke coming out of that chimney. And practice this with neutral thoughts, worries, fears, critical thoughts, and positive ones. And see what happens. So just finishing the exercise now, coming back to the room, opening your eyes when you're ready.